Hello and welcome to Henry Schein's YouTube series of webinars. I'm Dr. Gary Severance with Henry Schein, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to Andrea Gallimore from Henry Schein 1. Now, Andrea is bringing in new information regarding how to effectively communicate to your patient base, primarily through social media and the web. And although it's very valuable right now during the COVID-19 crisis, some of the principles she'll share would be good for any practice, anytime. Andrea has clinical background as an office manager and then marketing experience as a product manager for Henry Schein 1. So she brings a lot of experience from the clinical side as well as the marketing side. Please welcome Andrea.
Thanks, Gary. So glad to be here, and just wanted to thank everybody for being here with us today. My name is Andrea Gallimore, and I'm a product marketing manager for Henry Schein 1. I've been in the dental industry for over 20 years, and like many of you, I spent my first 12 years in the office as an office manager, doing things that you guys are doing every day. And so I look forward to chatting with you guys today about our COVID-19 and what this means for you and your patients and how you can communicate with them during this time and keep them up to date on your practice. So we're ready to dive into our material on effectively communicating with your patients throughout this COVID crisis time. So I want to talk to you guys about what you should be doing to properly and effectively communicate with your patients via your website and utilizing your social media accounts. So those are going to be two extremely important places that you can go ahead and get things up to date and keep in contact with your patients. You want to, at this time, not cut yourself off from them, but you want to be interactive with them and keep in not constant contact, but enough contact that they know what's happening and what you're doing with your practice, and that you're there for them if they need you, and they can reach out to you and how they can reach out to you. So one of the first important steps is take this moment to get out there and update your website. Use it as your effective communication tool. Use the key real estate on your website, like a homepage. Put your message on there first and foremost about your office closure, if it's closed and you're not seeing patients at all. If you are seeing only emergency patients, how they can contact you. So communicate that message effectively right on your homepage. And with doing that, it probably be good at this time if you could create a COVID-19 page or just a resource page for your patients to utilize and read over some information, not only about your practice, but you can guide them to other links and places to learn more and keep them informed. There's so much out there right now that may be misinformation and not as great of information for our healthcare and our dental care professionals and our patients. So we want to get that information out there to them. The other area besides your website and getting that current with your proper information about what your practice is doing is going to be your social media accounts. And we all know that everybody's using social media, and Facebook is one of the most top used social media platforms out there. 68% of Americans are using Facebook. 74% of women use Facebook. So you want to get on your Facebook page, post your message, and continue to update on your Facebook page or your other social media pages, Instagram, Twitter, if you're using it, whatever media of social media you are using. This is a great opportunity to be posting information about your practice and about what you guys are doing through this COVID-19 period. You want to interact on there, keep it current. Don't use canned messages, but be personable on it and put your message out. Build and continue to build on those relationships you have with your patients. Interact with comments that you see on your social media. This is a time when everybody needs that feel good time. So interact with your patients and Link your social media accounts on your website, so that draws them back to your website, draws them over to your social media pages, and just really keep it current. I'm not saying you have to post something every day, but make it a point to get out and at least do something once a week, or if you have an update and a change in your state as to when you can begin opening your practices back up and seeing patients, keep those messages clear and current with your patients and constantly updating them in a said manner. Just make a point to do it at least weekly and touch base with them. So before we do draw to a close on what you can do to communicate effectively with your patients between utilizing your website and utilizing your social media sites, I just want to give you just a few tips to walk through and make sure you've done this for your practice. Make sure you, number one, established your office's COVID policy utilizing the national, state, local board guidelines. Ensure the proper team members have access to your practice management software, your communication software, your website to make edits to it, and reach out to those manufacturers and support teams if you need help. Notify your patients of your closure, your limited hours, special precautions you're using. Use that communication tools of your website and your social media to keep those patients informed. And then make sure, if you're not seeing patients, to disable or modify your reminders and confirmation communications. It's going to be important that we're not sending miscommunications to our patients right now saying, hey, come to your appointment and the practice is closed. So make sure you're modifying those or just disabling them for this time. And if you're using any kind of online booking tools, make sure you've locked your practice closed. Again, add that copy to your website and your social media pages about your COVID-19 policies and your closures and your limited hours. And just, make sure your patients know how to contact you in case of a dental emergency. Post that information on your website and your social media. Update your voicemail that they may get when calling into the practice. And if you're doing limited hours, make sure you're posting those so they know when they can reach out and contact you. And then remember to quickly notify everybody that is on your schedule that you have closed or have limited hours, and when you are expected to open back up, and how you will be reaching out to reschedule patients, and also make sure that those who do have appointments once you open back up are going to be able to come in and see you for your services. So doing all these steps is going to help you communicate more effectively with your patients and keep you and your patients in that tight relationship through this period of time that we're all going to overcome, and we'll get through the other side. And you know what? We're going to have probably even the best communications with our patients beyond this point, and really step forward and build a better relationship. So I want to thank you for being with us today. And just to wrap up what we've talked about, we've gone through communication tools to communicate with your patients, making sure you're keeping your website up to date, and emailing or using your social media accounts to reach out to your patients and keep them current on what's going on with your practice. Again, thanks for being with us today, and I'm going to turn it back over to Gary.
Thank you, Andrea, for a wonderful presentation. If you have any questions or comments, please email us at webinars@henryschein.com, and please subscribe to the Henry Schein YouTube page to get notified of new and relevant content. Again, thank you for spending some time with us.